Alright, we're back, and we are about to play a very fun video game. So this game is called Pig Newton, and if you've ever watched my stream, you've probably heard me ramble about it quite a bit. Even if you've never watched me stream, you've probably heard me ramble about it quite a bit. So this is a game that Sega put out in 1983, which you've probably never heard of, and you probably should have. This is going to be a score demonstration, so I'm going to go for a goal score of 1,000,000 points. So we will get started right away, because it will take a little bit. The premise of the game is pretty simple. You play as a pig running around on a tree. The tree has 6 branches filled with apples, and at the end of every branch there is a nest. A bird will pop out and spawn eggs in, or lay eggs in one of the nests, and you complete the stage once you've collected 6 eggs. Now, of course, it's not that simple. You can see at the bottom there are 2 wolves that each have axes. They are trying to cut the tree down, and they do so very quickly. So you stop them by dropping apples on their head. Now that part of it's pretty simple, but in addition, squirrels will occasionally come out and drop acorns that bounce around. Those acorns, if they hit you, will knock you down a level, including to the ground. Now the acorns can only hit you once, but the squirrels are pretty relentless. So they'll pop out quite a bit. And it ultimately becomes the primary danger in the game. Also, starting from stage 2, you start getting power items. First off, this beehive. It counts as a screen clear, and if it hits a wolf, they drop one of their axes. If you pick up an axe on the ground, it repairs the tree slightly. There end up being a total of 3 axes, and the first one repairs 1, second repairs 2, and third repairs 3. The tree has 8 hit points, and if they get all of them, then it falls over and you just lose. So stage 3 adds the banana peel, which is an interesting power item. Mostly the apples bounce once on the ground and then disappear. The banana peel will stay there until they slip on it. That was pretty close. However, the wolf will stand up. That they don't. If you hit them with an apple, they'll kind of get dizzy and wander away. With the banana peel, they'll sit there for a second and then stand up and resume whatever they're doing. Their AI is actually remarkably complex. They'll do fake outs. They'll come in on one side and turn around and start chopping the tree on the other side. And that ends up being tricky because the apples, once you use them, they don't respawn for quite a bit. Additionally, because of the danger of the squirrels, you almost never want to be on the bottom limb. So you end up running through your apples on the top pretty quick. Additionally, you can see there is an owl sitting there. The owl is a terrible enemy that will be the reason you lose in this game. You cannot walk through it, and if it flies into you, you will fall down. If you drop down from above, you will immediately pass through it into the next level, including to the bottom as well. We're getting kind of low on health on our tree here, so we will need to be pretty aggressive or just end the stage. So the power-ups, there are 4 super items in total. You see the horseshoe and the bomb there. Both of them just act as normal items. They basically act as apples, but they cause the wolf to drop an axe. Yep, and I slipped up there. The I played pretty dangerous trying to get the banana peel down, and it knocked me down. So that is the first life. There is one extend in this game. It's changed with different revisions of the game, but I think in this one it's 100,000. Well, that's no good. Usually, because there are 4 power-ups and only 3 can spawn, every few stages there will be one that doesn't have a beehive, and that's usually the most dangerous stage. Because the beehive does the screen clear, so it gives you a safe path to pick up the axes that they drop. So usually you want to rush through the eggs as quickly as possible. Owl is going to land right there, so we have to just stall for a bit, because I don't have an apple above it to get out of the way. So, when they fly off the screen, they'll pick a random direction to come in from, so I had to pretty much time when I was going to pick up the eggs there. And so at the end of this stage, you get points for every... It's 100 points times the stage number you're on, and then it's multiplied by the number of axes you've picked up. And that ends up, if you can imagine, adding up pretty quick. We're gonna try to drop the... Oh, we got hit by the owl there, and now we're in a bit of a pickle. And unfortunately, I did not get the extend, so that one unfortunately went pretty quick. That can certainly happen sometimes. But I got a pretty good explanation of the game in. Most of the situations are possible to get out of, but sometimes the squirrels can be particularly aggressive. So unfortunately, we did not get very far. The score increases exponentially, so I wasn't particularly far off. Maybe like a third of the way to the point to how long I would have had to play to get to 1,000,000 points. But that gives a pretty good summary of the game anyway. So I suppose that'll be it, and we will probably just move on then.